In this video, we're going to look at conjunctions. Now, conjunctions are connecting or linking words. It links two independent clauses or two parts of speech. 2 and 2 makes 4. And is the conjunction there. He is 70, yet he is strong. He is 70 is one clause, he is strong is another clause. The conjunction yet links those two clauses, right? And it's also important for us to understand which conjunction to use in a context. So let's apply this learning and learn to identify errors pertaining to conjunctions in a context through some example sentences.
So let's look at our first example. It says, arranging such a large amount of funds now will be a problem. Why? Banks are usually not open so early in the morning. Okay, so we understand conjunctions are linking words, connecting words. They link two parts of speech, or they link two clauses. 2 and 2 make 4. In that example sentence, and is a conjunction connecting two parts of speech. He is 70, yet he is strong. In that example sentence, yet is a conjunction connecting two clauses. He is 70, he is strong. There are two sentences with complete thought. So let's look at this example and understand what conjunction, or if there is a conjunctional error, then let's look at that. Arranging such a large amount of funds now will be a problem is one complete thought, right? That is a consequence. So what is the reason? The reason is given right there. Banks are usually not open so early in the morning. That is your reason. So we have a cause and effect relationship here. But why do I have this question why between these two sentences? Have you heard people say, why were you late? I was late. Why? Because, right? They connect the question and the conjunction, which is incorrect. You're giving a reason, so you only need the reason hint word, which is because. You don't have to add a question in between your explanation or sentence. That's exactly why we don't need why here, right? So we understand that the error is in part 2. We don't need a question in between those two sentences. We need a linking word and a connecting word. So in this context, arranging such a large amount of funds now will be a problem because banks are usually not open so early in the morning. Yes, possible. Arranging such a large amount of funds now will be a problem as banks are usually not open so early in the morning. Sounds right. But what is the right fit? Is it because or as? Let's quickly look at the difference between because and as and how we apply that in a context. Now, as a conjunction is applied when the reason is very obvious, right? For example, if I say, I went to bed early as I was tired. One of the logical reasons for you going to bed early would be probably you were tired. You had a long, hard day, right? That could be one of the reasons. So when the reason is obvious, you use as. But when the reason is important, or you're not too sure what the reason is, it's critical, but you don't know what it is, then you use because. So in this context, there is not a logical or obvious explanation or reason, but the reason is mentioned, right? Which is not obvious. So that's why we use because and not as. So let's go ahead and make that change. So we substitute why with because. There you go. Right? Let's move to our second example pertaining to conjunctions. She will not attend the meeting until she is asked to. So again, the highlighted word here is until. And my options are except, even with, even except, and unless. And then I have no correction required. Now let's look at our options and see if any of these options fit in the context if I have to substitute until. She will not attend the meeting except she is asked to. Except as a conjunction brings in the meaning of other than, right? Is that the meaning that we need in this context? She will not attend the meeting other than she is asked to? Does not make sense. She will not attend the meeting even with she is asked to. With again is a preposition that brings in the meaning of together, accompany. That is not the meaning we require in this context. And then I have even except, which we already saw the meaning of except. And then we have our fourth option, which is unless. Now unless as a conjunction brings in the meaning of a condition. Something has to happen Unless this is taken care of, it will not happen, right? So is this context bringing in that meaning? Yes. She will not attend the meeting. What is the condition? She has to be asked, right? So here the right answer to replace until would be unless, bringing in the meaning of a condition. So she will not attend the meeting unless she is asked to. Let's look at our final example and understand conjunctions in depth. Fools rush in when angels fear to tread. The highlighted word or the underlined word is when. Fools rush in when angels fear to tread. Tread. Vocabulary. If it's a word that you're not familiar with, the meaning of tread is to walk on or to walk along a path, an area. So it's talking about a place. Now, when as a conjunction, we are familiar that it refers to time. But let's look at our options. Option A, because. Option B, if. Option C, where. Is this sentence bringing in a cause and effect or a reason meaning? No. So because is ruled out. Is this sentence bringing in a condition? Do we need a condition here? Is there a condition here? No. If is again, is not a logical fit. But where, on the other hand, refers to place. We're familiar with that. So in this context, you replace when with option C. Where. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Talking about the place, the area, which is what is the meaning of the sentence that is projecting. So let's go ahead and make that change. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. We've replaced when with where, option C.
Now, having gone through these examples, I'm positive that you not only know how to identify errors pertaining to conjunctions, but you are also able to get familiar, but you are also able to identify which conjunction to use. Like for example, in one of the examples we saw, should I use because or as, right? Depending on the meaning that the context was giving. So keep practicing. Let's move to our next component in finding errors.